change the color when they put ice. Jason.
Boom. We don't need to talk about that one.
Huh?
Stickers.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like 100 stickers we need to send out.
Yeah. What's up, guys? What's up, Victor? What's going on, Nicholas?
I can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. It's gonna be karaoke. We're gonna sing today. What's going on, guys? What's up, Victor?
Hello from South Florida. How was your week? You know what? Let's just get right into it, shall we? Let's cut the mics.
These notes in the house. Hello from Australia.
All right, so let's get the 800-pound gorilla right off our chest. We have microphones today. We're going to try these. Don't worry, it's not a permanent fixture by any stretch of the imagination.
Hi from Canada.
The reason why we're using them is because next month when we go to Knowledge Fest, we're going to have the lavaliers, we're going to have microphones, we have a mixer. We're trying to get this all worked out now so that when we do the one show there and the one show later.
Yeah. Test 1, 2, 3.
Everything will work perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get to stand here and fulfill a lifelong dream. Hello from Rhode Island. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for tuning in.
Hi.
The Karaoke
Karaoke
YouTube show with Dean and Fernando. Woo. So how was your week?
It was good.
Was it?
That was a long week, man.
You know, it's sad because Paul came over yesterday and we had done a car on Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
And his son came in yesterday to have us quote him out.
Right.
And they're trying to, like, we did this truck. And I was like, what truck?
Yeah, exactly.
I
remember?
Yeah, you remember?
Because he said,
you remember? What's up, Terry from Michigan?
He said,
hey, from the Caribbean. Indianapolis.
Yeah,
we'll
he
be
said
there
the name
month.
of the customer. And I was like, what?
I'm
You're like,
I
what?
have no idea. I'm like, what car was it? What did we put in it? Oh, yeah, the 8-inch focals.
Yeah, exactly.
Just say the truck we put the 8-inch focals in so we know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like we remember more of the system than the car. You know, it's like,
yes,
hey, it's that Toyota we did with the Morel amp and the Virtus, or hey, it's the one we did with the, you know.
What's that IT text?
So, do you have a
Sergio.
camera mic on as well? No, we don't. The camera mic is off. So right now we're just, these two mics should be the only mics that are on. Yep. And let's see. Oh, that one was up just a little bit. Sorry, the camera mic was on just a hair.
All right.
Was it that noticeable? I'm guessing it was because you asked. So, yeah, we turned that one off. So, yeah, just me and him. Just me and him.
All right.
We had the camera, we actually had the normal mic we were running on at the beginning so that we could pipe in that. So the, you know, the bullfrog in the background. But before we get into all the cool, what's up from Anchorage, Alaska?
What's going on?
You guys rock. Hey, from Australia. Artie's in Australia right now.
Yes.
So lucky.
That's pretty cool.
You guys know Artie, he's our amp rep, and yeah, he was on the show. He's there right now in Australia. He has family there. Please come on a message. I'm driving and going in and out of signal.
Base out. What's going on?
I don't remember what Justin's question was. What's up from Brooklyn?
What's up,
hey, John? Happy Saturday, fellas. All right, real quick before we get too deep into this, the sponsor this week is JBL. That's right. You guys have already seen the video we shot on this. This is the BassPro Hub. This is the cool spare tire box thingy that goes in where your spare tire is. It's an 11-inch woofer. You've had it in your car for a week now.
Yes.
And we put it in, and our new reps are Mike and Bill. So you guys have, Sajecki as we call them, and Bill are the new reps. So they're the ones that are supplying this for the show.
What's on New Zealand?
And they wanted us to do it and whatnot, so we're like, okay, cool. So you got to play with it for a week.
Yes.
They came by and heard it and were amazed. Jeff got to hear it last week and was amazed.
Yep.
Because in the reason why I said this, we had one person comment on the video that, it seems like everything we review, we say is amazing or we like. And my answer to that was, that's because we only review amazing stuff. Let's be honest. I'm not going to review garbage. Who cares?
Exactly.
Hey, Jason, what's going
on, buddy?
This is so difficult to listen. Is it too loud? What is? You got to help us out here, River, and give us more information.
Yeah.
On what the problem
just tell us if that's too loud.
If
what's
it
going
sucks,
on? Because
we'll just switch it over to the other thing.
Correct.
Because I don't want to do a whole show with the audio sucking. So we just need to figure out if it's any good. But anyways.
So that was really good.
And I can't see the red lights.
Like for what it is,
all right,
all the way, in the back, in the spare tire, it sounds really good, man.
All right, I turned the gains down just a little bit, so if it was too peaky,
love it.
Because I can see the red lights over here.
Okay. So like I say,
what's up from
I
Ottawa?
would recommend whoever's gonna buy this.
Hello from Mars.
You
Space
put a
bumping.
little bit of sound deadening.
Anyone else
on the bottom,
audio dropouts.
But it's good. It's good.
Will it fit in the spare tire? Yes, of course it will hit in there.
Yeah.
It is a little loud. All right, I just turned it down, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Stop
like I said,
screaming. Don't scream.
I'll turn my mic down. So I'm mic 1, so I'll turn down mic 1 just a little bit because I know I can get real peaky.
Yeah, we haven't played with the JBL
in my headphones,
amplifiers.
It sounded good.
Okay.
No, we haven't played with any of the JBL amplifiers yet. We haven't played
What's
with
that, Johnny?
else JBL. This was the first, we're dipping our toe in it. They wanted to see what we could do with it. Honestly, I wanted this because out of all the products that we got to play with, I wanted to play with one of these because I could not believe that you could get bass out of something like this. And the fact that you can is quite amazing.
And it's a lot of bass that you can
one
get.
thing is you have to make sure it is tightly bolted into the car. This is not something you just set in there like a Tupperware dish and be like, yeah, it's good. It sounds good now. Okay, cool. We'll keep tweaking until we get it right because we want to make sure. What's up, Johnny? How's it going? I would say a little high pitch. There again, these microphones, sure, these are sure microphones.
What about now?
What's
going on?
I got them because they said they were vocal. As for those of you curious, it's a PGA 58. The PGA 58s.
All right, what goes in the dash on a 2012 4Runner?
That funky little speaker.
A
little 2-inch, little 2.5-inch, or a tweeter.
We normally put two.
Kenwood just shipped theirs.
Yeah.
Kenwood just finally shipped theirs. We're gonna review them soon.
Do you know what is the retail price on this?
Sounds loud and clear. Sounds good. Okay, good. Thank you, Robert.
All right.
I have no idea what retail price is on anything. We have to put several of them in, and always happy with them. That must be the JBL amplifiers. What's better in your opinion, Canon XL 9905 or the Pioneer 4400 NEX? I like the 9905. I gave that props for my radio of the year at the end of last year. I said that was my favorite radio,
I agree.
I'm going to go with that. I like that. Really what it comes down to is if you're a wireless CarPlay fan, the 9906 will have wireless CarPlay, but sure, earbuds rock. Yeah, there you go. The 9906 may be a little delayed. Found that out the other day. The 9906 and the 996 may have a little bit of delay in them because
guys ditch the mics.
We're just testing the mics out. This is the only week for the mics, Bobby. So don't worry. We're just, and honestly, if I get bored with it, I'll probably just go back to the camera thing anyways. We just wanted to make sure these things are going to work because when we have the live show.
Oh, congrats on the marathon, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
It was murder. And Haley's like, how many times did you stop? So I had to stop 4 times because I had to go to the bathroom 4 times. Okay, so I had to stop and poo 4 times.
Okay. We don't have to know that.
Well, yeah, but she made it a point. She was like, well, how many times did you stop? I was like, dude, I had to go to the bathroom 4 times. So I stopped 4 times in 26 miles. Dang. Bummer me.
The price is wrong, Bob.
Oh, yeah, right. No, he's talking. Yeah, the price is right. Yeah, I'm a Wheel of Fortune guy.
Yeah, so now.
So anyways, can we ask a question sound related? Of course you can always ask any question you want, man. And if we catch it in the stream that goes by, we try to answer it.
There is we don't know nothing about the DB drive. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, back to, I believe Sherwin Vega came out with almost the exact same. Yes, okay, so good call, Aaron. They did come out with it, and we got to play with it at Knowledge Fest. And Eddie at the time was the rep. He was the Sherwin Vega / Diamond. That's all one company now. And we were like, hey, man, get us one of these. And he's like, all right, cool, yeah, because he lives here in Florida, in Miami, down by Victor. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get one, and then I'll ship it up to you guys, and you guys can play with it. And we're like, yes, please. And then he quit. And we're like, so I was all stoked and excited like I do, and it didn't show up. And he was like, I call him up, and I was like, what's going on, man? And he's like, I was like, great. And then Bill walked in 2 weeks ago, and he goes, hey, man, look what I got.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Yes! Can I make you marathons? Yes, of course you can make me a marathon sticker. That was my Facebook post. Where's my sticker?
Johnny says he's going to make you one.
That's what I was reading. Yeah. When I turn my gains on my amp up, it increases, and if I turn it down, it decreases. I'm using a T404. Yes. So, yeah, your gain. Okay, so gain control on radio. I want one of those new.
Yes, Robert, they are for sale.
Yes, you can get them at Teespring/store/5star. Well, at the beginning, we put up the cool little thing, but yes, you can get them on 5-star.
Correct.
So a gain control is often confused with a volume knob. It increases volume and decreases volume.
Yep.
But that's where it gets confusing. So the idea is that you have an input-output sensitivity. So you have output out of the radio, which needs to match the input sensitivity of the amplifier. So as you turn up the volume on the radio, you get enough signal into that amplifier so that amplifier can then put out its rated power. If it's too low, it won't put out the rated power, and if it's too high, it will try to put out more power than it's capable of. So it's one of those cool little So what you have to do is you have to pick a volume point on your radio. Now, a lot of the times people like to say, I'm going to turn it up till it distorts, or clipping, or call it what you want.
Yeah.
If you're using, let's say, a factory radio, you're going to have distortion or clipping. So you say, all right, well, if I turn my knob up and I have 60 little clicks across there, then if I come and I'm 5 from all the way over, that's my max volume. That's the loudest I'm going to ever play it.
Okay.
Now you can go back and you can adjust your gains on your amplifiers to match that. Now there's devices out there like oscilloscopes, the DD1, and that's really about it. As far as you can measure for clip, if your amplifier like JBL Audio used to and Phoenix Gold does, and a couple other manufacturers, they'll tell you, which you can use math using Ohm's law, you can figure out how much output voltage you should be having, and you can set your gains that way. But the whole idea is to pick a volume.
Yeah.
That's the loudest you're ever going to play it, and then you start turning up your gains. Now, for those of you that don't have all the cool tools, basically what you want to do is don't play a test tone. Play something that has a bass note that you're accustomed to, some song you're used to, something that has an example of the sound you're expecting to get out of it. Okay, so if you're a hip hop or a techno or whatever fan, play something like that and start turning your gain up until you notice no change, and then back it down some, and that's going to be where you're going to be comfortable at. Now, I tell every customer when they ask me how loud can I turn it up, I say the same thing. You can turn it up until it sounds like crap and then turn it back down.
Correct.
Now, if you have a T-Series amplifier and it's the 400.4 Mini T, that comes with a DD1 built into it. So you can actually set that properly using the accompanying disc and disconnecting all the other speakers, because you have no speakers hooked up when you're using a DD1 and or the T. So you'd have to disconnect your highs, and then you turn up the volume. There's lights on top of it that show you how to do it all, and we've done it on a couple videos. But then you could set it up so it's exact. That's it. That's the fun. Drop the mic and walk away. No, these things weren't cheap. Okay.
Anyway,
sorry, go ahead.
So real quick, harness, dash kits, anything you need. Remember packaudio.com. Also metraonline.com, so you can find all the harnesses that you need.
I'll try to. So if you use a two-way crossover on top of a cap, included the super tweeter, does it change the ohm load? Yes. Yes, it does. So So if we're talking a two-way passive crossover and you add another cap on top of that, yeah, it will change the crossover point because you're changing the, that would change. Now, if you're doing active, if you're doing a two-way active system and you put a cap on the tweeter, that's perfectly acceptable. As a matter of fact, a lot of manufacturers will recommend you put a cap on the tweeter. They might not come out and say it when they're in a room full of nerds, but when you call them on the phone, they'll say, do me a favor, just put a cap on that tweeter. It's okay, you know, just it won't hurt nothing.
Jeff, real quick, we use the Lumi on the...
Yes? What is
on
that?
my car.
On your car?
Yes.
Oh, on one of the car labs.
In one of the car labs. So you gotta find it. I think it's the
7 or 8, I think.
7 or 8.
Yeah,
yes.
just the car lab's good because only like 12 or 13 videos in the car lab, but we did use a Lumi in there to do some stuff, so you can check that out.
Actually, I believe that was when we used the link.
We'll use all 3 though.
The wave tag.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the wave tag.
Yeah, I think that was on the wave tag.
06 Silverado with Bose. Where do I 9-wire from my? If it's an 06, it's either going to be. There's 3 places that GM puts them in the trucks or the SUVs: center console, glove box, and rear driver's back. Those are the 3 places you can look for them. What do you got here?
Okay.
What Focal speakers did you guys carry? All of them except for the Utopias. So we carry K2, we carry, and auditors. We don't carry auditors anymore, thank God.
No.
Thank you for answering, guys. No problem. How do you reset? Yeah, right? How do you reset a Pioneer? How do you reset Pioneer car stereo? DH, oh, dude. Disconnect power from it's usually the first thing you want to do. And you got to actually pull the power plug. How big of a capacitor should I use in a 2,000 watt system? Batteries, Jason.
You don't need capacitors. You need a battery.
You want batteries.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a capacitor, look into maybe one of the hybrid capacitors. It's like one of those capacitor banks.
Okay.
Most of the time, the little 1 and 2 farad capacitors are garbage nowadays. Those capacitor makes, like Rockford still makes that 12 farad capacitor that are really nice. 06 is in the center console. Thank you, Jason.
See, Angel.
So, yeah, love the videos. 2 farad cap. But there again, you have to be real careful because those are spray paint cans with voltmeters. That's how we look at them.
And that's like 2,000 watts.
Fernando, did you speak Spanish?
Sí.
Sí?
Sí.
Hola.
Sí. No, definitely. For the guy that he asked me about the monster truck, that was awesome. That was awesome. He loved the show and everything. So thank you so much.
No,
guys.
you can't hook up the crossover, Jason or John. No. So if you just run it, no, that'll change. So what you want to do for your stuff, John, is you just want to get just a passive crossover tweeter network. Is the easiest way to do that. It will change because that. No, don't use just the tweeter output on that. Just get a passive tweeter crossover. Parts Express might sell that, so I would check Parts Express.
All right, so somebody say... You get it?
I'm working on it.
You get it? Do you get it?
All right.
All right, so what happened?
All right, so that died, so we're going to have to do some testing on why that died.
We're back on track. What's going on?
Oh, you know what? Hang on. Got to do one more thing.
The mic went out. Okay, you gotta switch it, right?
Yeah, switching it out. Okay, we should be in business. Yeah. Ooh. How are we now? Hang on, menu. One more thing. Okay. All right. Woo. There we go.
Perfect.
We should be good.
How we going?
Got it now. We should. Your mic went.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay. All right. So I don't even know where I was. Fernando needs to learn sign language, static and low volume. All right. So are we good now? Is everything good? All right. All right. So. Static and low. Okay. What did someone say? I don't remember. Good now. Okay. All right, so we were talking about three-way component sets from Focal. The video we just did earlier this week, we showed you the FLAC series. Are they worth the money? Depends. Is anything worth the money? Anytime you go to buy something, that's one of the things you have to grapple with in your life, is what makes it worth money to you. Are they all awesome? Yeah, they are. They're all great speakers.
Yeah.
That particular truck that we did the week before we did that one, we did an Access, and we were excited. In 2 weeks before that, we had done the Morel Virtus.
Yes.
So there's a ton of great speakers out there. Are they worth the money? I can't answer that.
It just depends what's worth it for you.
What's up, Scott?
What's going on, Scott?
Back butt was a lot louder and cleaner with the mic.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know why that thing died out, so we're gonna have to play with it more.
Okay.
Sorry. We'll do what we can. We'll do what we can. Yeah, I mean, it's pegged.
Yeah,
so,
it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving us what we want. It might have been louder. Everyone had their volume down loud because we were feeding it so much.
Steve says sounds much better.
Back butt. What does it have?
RC control.
Everyone loves the camera mic. It's not a camera mic. We run everything runs. Everything has a Rode microphone attached to it. We don't use the only camera we use the mic on is the one of the videos when you're seeing my face.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything has a Rode mic attached to it. So. Okay. A Rockford Fosgate 6.5 to use the tweeter input from my amp on side mark woofer. So those have. So if it's the one I bought, the Virtus, they sound amazing speakers. Mid-range is quite unique in design. Love the way they sound. They definitely do. So on the Rockford components,
thank you,
usually. There's two versions of them, one with an external crossover and one with a crossover built into the basket of the speaker. If it's the one with the basket with the crossover built in the basket of the speaker, it says woofer and it says tweeter. Woofer is the input, tweeter is the output that goes to the tweeter. Now depending on what set you got, because there's two different sets depending on whether you want 6 3/4 or 6.5.
Yeah.
The 6 3/4, the tweeter output is backwards.
Shocking!
I know, right? Wow. And they had some BS reason for doing it. Alpine X types. Your opinion on them? Oh, those are really nice. That's a really nice. Yeah. Right. I like Alpine speakers. I always have. They all. Okay. Let me rephrase it. I like Alpine R type and X type speakers. I always have. They're always nice. They've done everything that we wanted them to, and they just came out with a new R type 6x9 component. So I'm kind of excited to do that. What's the name of the router bit you use for making templates? But yeah, so actually we're going to review the next.
Yeah, that's what we need, Victor.
I believe you can find the router bits that we use. They're the Yanikos that we get on Amazon. And I believe they're in DNF Tool Drawer, so if you go to dnfttooldrawer.com, in the tool section you should find a list of the ones that we use, the flush trim bit. But yeah, there should be a listing there for that. Would you recommend the SMD audio tools? We have every single SMD audio tool they make. So I guess the answer to that would be yes. However, most of the things you do with those tools, you could do with the DMRTA for less money when you compare them all. There are still things that you can't do with the DMRTA that you can do with those. Yeah. But for 90% of what you want to do, you can do with the DMRTA. Yeah. Yeah. And you'll have more features, like because the DMRTA obviously has an RTA.
I mean, you have one right there. Yeah. Everything is right here.
So, what's better, strapping 2 small amps or getting 1 large amp? I'm a fan of not strapping. I don't like strap-on amplifiers at all. Every time we've had a customer that's tried to do that, they've always managed to blow up their amplifiers. I either say get one really big amplifier or multiple small amplifiers and let them do their own thing. Now, if you need it to just power one driver, they make big enough amplifiers now that you really don't need to strap anything, because you can get those 4,000 watt Orions and the VFLs and all that stuff that's just off the ridiculous. Yeah. So what 6x9s would you choose if you only had $150? I don't know how much things cost, but in that price range, if we're looking for components, Pioneer makes the 6x9 components.
Yeah.
S-Type makes a 6x9 components. If I had to do coaxials and I was at 100, then I could go up to, you know, maybe some Access, possibly the Centos, the Hertz Centos. But if I want, I'd probably, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of the S-Types, but if that's all I had, I would go with those for sure. I'm pleased that you don't like strap-ons. Me too. Thought the Alpine PDX V9 versus Alpine X Series 5 channel. It's the PDX V9 is it, man.
Yeah,
okay.
It's no upgrade.
They did not make a replacement for the PDX V9. They're stupid, and and we told them as much when we had them in front of us. We said, "Hey guys, so you came out with these 3 new amplifiers.
Which one is the replacement?
Awesome. When is the replacement for the PDX9 coming out?" And they were like, "Oh, this is the replacement for the PDX V9." We're like, "It doesn't have. It doesn't have."
It's just less power.
Well, it's less power. It doesn't. What am I trying to think? Constant power output. It doesn't have constant power output, meaning if I put a 4 ohm load on it, or a 2 ohm load, or a 1 ohm, it doesn't matter. Doesn't do that. I have you're giving me the BS 2 ohm rating on my 4-channel portion of it, which I call it a BS 4-channel rating because no one in the right mind is going to be running a Class D 4-channel amp at 2 ohm. Seriously, guys, I hate that.
What's that from London?
That just pisses me off. These manufacturers want to give that 2 ohm rating on those 4-channel section of a 5. Oh, 2 ohm at 2 ohms on our 4-channel amp, it's 110 watts. Who the hell's doing that? There's not a person out there doing that. You're running at 4 ohm. Okay, yeah. Some of these amplifiers, like the only exception to that rule that I've ran across lately is with the D or the LC 4.800.
Yeah.
Those sound amazing at 2 ohm on the Focals.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. Even the PDX V9, I'm not running at 2 ohm. I'm running at 4 ohm. But because it's a constant power, it puts out 110 watts at 4 ohms. Make me that amplifier.
Yeah.
That's why it's still available, kind of.
For sound deadening, we use Roadkill. Also, Roadkill makes the Ultimate, so you can use on the doors. Really nice. So check Stinger.
Yeah,
Stinger.com, so you can check all the sound deadening that they use. The difference between distortion and clipping. What's the difference between the distortion and clipping?
Well, distortion can be almost okay. So,
Oakland, California.
This is one of the. It's like okay. Clipping is like oh god, man, this is hard. Okay, so distortion can actually happen without clipping because you can overdrive. You can be having a crappy source that is distorted. And that's technically distortion. Clipping is when the signal hits the frame, not the frame rails, but hits the rails, as they say. They use that terminology, and basically it's a square wave. So you know your sound should have a nice round sine wave to it.
Wait.
When it goes beyond its capabilities, it shaves the top and bottom, and they call it a square wave. So that is technically clipping. It's also distorting, but it's clipping more so. So you can have distortion before you have clipping. So
clipping is type of distorting.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
one leads to the other definitely, but you could use a dirty signal. Like for example, YouTube audio sucks and it's distorted. So when you amplify a distortion, it's just distorted, and your speakers are trying to play it. That doesn't mean the system is clipping. It just means it sounds bad.
All right. If you want to add 2 10s and 2 12s, that's not that.
Hello from
I don't
Portugal.
think it's a good idea. Different powering. It's just grab 2 12s or 2 10s.
Or 4.
Just go
4 10s or 4
4 10s, or just go for 2 15s. Depends, you know. But don't go 2 10s, 2 12s, and no.
So what does the stamp of high-res audio mean? There's a couple things that it means. First things first, it's for Japanese companies only. The only way you can get high-res certification is if you're, as of right now, is if you're a Japanese company and you pay the $50,000 of entrance fee into the high-res society. Yeah. Once you become a member, you can submit a product to the high-res. Now, just like THX, just like Dolby, just like all of them, there are certain criteria that the product has to meet. So it has to, that's why there's no sub high-res audio, because it's geared more towards the high-end side, or the highs, the vocals. So the amplifier has to be able to play past 40,000 hertz, okay? And we know we can't hear past 20,000 hertz, but the idea is that if you can move the stopping point further away, you don't have rollback. Because if an amplifier stopped at 20,000 hertz, you would hear distortion rolling back because sound just doesn't quit. It keeps going. Well, it has to stop somewhere because we can't design these amps to play to infinity. So you don't want the rollback in the audio range. So it has to do that. The third thing that is, it has to pass. There's a board, and they all well, no, it's not. So let me finish. There's a board of people that sit and listen to every high-res product that comes through. So if you submit a set of speakers, if you submit an amplifier, all this stuff is listened to audibly and agreed upon by this group. Then says you can become. Yay. Now, is it snake oil? Is it BS? Is it whatever you guys? The question I ask you this: have you ever heard it? Okay, I've personally heard it. Okay, and I've A/B'd between something that was high res playing a FLAC file and something that wasn't high res playing a FLAC file, and I was like, okay, yeah, there's a difference. Now, is it something I can hear a difference? As I say, is there something I can hear a difference when I'm doing 60 miles an hour in my car down the road with all that noise? Probably not. You know, I just gave back that MP3 player that Sejeki gave me. It's a $1,500 MP3 player with a 30-bit DAC in it. Okay, it's one of the best. I can never remember the name. Best portable DAC playing things, and I put my expensive headphones on it, and Haley and I sit there, and we would A/B between this and that, and it was like, yeah, okay, this one's the better sounding one, okay? And it's like
yeah, exactly, Luis.
So to say, oh, it's BS, it's not BS.
No.
Now, marketing always screws up everything, and so does the internet, because, like I said, we have a $50 set of Karaoke, which is Pioneer, high-res audio speakers that one of you nice people sent us. Yeah, sure. Is it a sticker on a box? Probably. Does it mean it can meet the criteria that they have? Probably. Does it mean it's going to sound better than a set of focals? No, not necessarily. But it's not, you know, we all pick on things that try to make things better, okay? Just because your team doesn't support it doesn't mean it sucks, okay? It just means that your team doesn't support it. You're never going to see, as of right now, you're never going to see high-res on Focal. You're not going to see it on Audison Hertz. You're not going to see it on all the Chinese and Korean-made crap. You're not going to see it on anything made here in America, if there is anything. So, no, you're not going to see it. You're going to see it on all the Japanese products. And right now, it's something that they can wag their flag and say, hey, this is high-res audio. Hey, if it gets interest in the product, cool. But is it garbage? No. Is it sound better? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. I mean, we just reviewed the Kenwood amplifier. Okay, they redesigned that whole amplifier from the ground up. Yeah. When you look at the frequency response output of the amplifier, it played up to 40,000 hertz last year. Okay, but it didn't get high-res audio certification on it. Okay. Right. When you look at spec for spec, like just the number side of things, the two amplifiers match identically. But they're different somehow, okay? Right. We know that because we looked at the two circuit boards and we were like, these are different. These parts here don't match anything in this non-high-res amplifier. Why are these here? Are they here so that we can get a better high-frequency response output, less distortion at 20,000 hertz or 15,000 hertz than we would have in this amplifier? Because it has to not break apart there like it might in the old amplifier. It has to be able to play cleanly up to 40,000. That's a big deal, okay? And all you guys that want to put 120 watt shirt tweeters, having a better amplifier that plays cleaner in those frequencies, to me, makes sense. Yeah. Now, other than that, I could care less about it. But, you know, at least be fair. And we all know you guys apparently hate screw-down terminals.
I mean, you can run two amplifiers from the head unit, from the remote output. If you got more than that, like lights, switches, headrest, something like that, you have to add a relay.
Yeah, there are tons of amplifiers that play frequencies higher than that. But there again, they had to draw a line in the sand that you had to be better than this. And like I said, dude, when we were talking to Nalika about high-res audio, he laughed. He's like, dude, I mean, seriously, what, yeah, it's not anything we're interested in. And because they don't want to have to spend the money, they're not they're Focal, they're not a Japanese company. They just don't care.
If you add a second battery, should I upgrade the alternator? Not necessarily. If the batteries are good, and well, it depends.
Yes, Jay.
How big system do you have?
Well, okay, to alternator or not to alternator, that is the question. If my thought is this, okay, if you're capable of replacing the alternator yourself, meaning you got a bitchin' set of tools and you know how to do it, and there's a company out there that makes a bigger alternator for your car, by all means, go for it. Okay? The reason why I say that is because no matter how good the alternator manufacturer is, every time I've ever had the opportunity to do one, at some point it's going to break and I'm going to have to put the factory one back in. That's why I don't touch alternators anymore. But if you know how to do it, yeah, because you'll get more voltage, you don't have to run quite as many batteries. It's way fun. Can you make an amplifier clip by sending too much input voltage? Of course you can. You can overdrive the input section of any amplifier. For example, Alpine. We've talked about the PDX V9 here. Alpine builds in clip detection into the amplifier. They don't ever talk about it, but we know it's there. And we know it's there because if we overdrive the input of the amplifier, it will automatically shut the amplifier down and put it in protection immediately, like that. Boom, won't even, gone. And it's a matter of turning the gain like that, and it'll go away. PDX V9 is one of the, if there's any annoying feature about a PDX V9 is that, yeah, it's made to handle like 5 volts of input, even though it'll say some other BS. 5.1 volts, it's going crazy. Sometimes even 5 volts, it hates you. So because Alpine radios put out barely 4 volts. So they build their amplifiers that way. So the PDX V9s and all the PDX amplifiers, for that matter, we typically run them gains down, like gains all the way down. Very rarely, unless we're using a really cheap head unit, do we get the opportunity to turn the gains up. The nice thing is that it's, still sounds great because it's 110 watts.
I don't know who makes a front fire enclosure
for
a Nissan Titan crew cab.
Oh wow, yeah, because that would
be a custom made, man.
Yeah, that'd totally be custom.
Well, Sean is gonna start doing something again.
Yeah, but he'd have to have the truck to do it.
Right.
So yes, you can clip the inputs on an amp with way too much voltage.
Man.
Of course. Yeah. So when we were talking about those 2 amplifiers we reviewed, they'll tell you the Kenwood. The Kenwood is capable of handling between 5 volts and 0.2 volts. So if you ran 10 volts of input into it, you'd overload the input and you'd clip the input of the amplifier. That would be high level. Now on the Phoenix Gold, the kicker right there, that can handle 10 volts of input. So you can literally run deck power right into the amplifier and you're good to go.
That's true.
Sorry, I keep posing trying to put together a system for my little brother as a gift. Please help.
All right, Eddie.
Thanks, just needed to hear that.
Can you guys put together a 5-channel amp speaker sub combo with affordable price range?
Yeah, so all right. There again, my favorite amplifier, which we just reviewed, the newer version of it, the 801.5, now the 802.5. Retail price on that is under $300.
Yep.
It's plenty of power, way to go. You could actually do a full Kenwood system.
Yeah.
You could get into the Kenwood Exelons. They make the they make the 6.5 components. They make the 7.5-inch components. They make 6x9 coaxial, 6.5-inch or 6x9 coaxial, 6.5-inch coaxials.
Yeah.
You go all the way on that, so you could go with Kenwood speakers all the way around. Subwoofer wise, depending on what you want to do there, you could go Kenwood, but I'd probably look at something else that maybe a kicker comp 112 or 210s.
Yeah.
Would be perfect on that. P1s, P1, P2s, 112 or 210s.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That'd be a sub. That'd be cheap.
Then,
so
that would be not
especially if you just did 112. I mean, that would be real reasonably priced for sure. And then, of course, you know, if you have to go high level or deck, whatever one you go there, you can get into, like, I don't know, the 3 Series.
PDX V9, yes.
The 3 Series Kenwood, reasonably cheap. Unfortunately, I have to bail early. Sorry,
right,
Jason.
so
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Jason.
Did you already talk about JBL Axeman? No, we're going to talk about it right now. Good segue. It's perfect. It's halftime. So what we have here is the JBL Bass Hub. They're the sponsor of the show this week. It's an 11-inch woofer built into an aluminum housing. It's got a cool grill on the bottom. So you need a spare tire that goes into the spare tire. You need a spare tire that has a flat rim in it so this can sit inside of it.
Yep.
It comes with the bolt so that you can tie it in. So you have to bolt it in very tight. Tighter the better. It comes with the cool bass controller that goes up front. This is your volume, this is your bass boost, this is your low pass crossover, as well as phase correction. If you'd like to see us review this, we have a car audio lab where we got to put one in Fernando's car. He's been driving it with it. He's been driving around with it in his car for about a week, 2 weeks.
Like a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty
Dude,
amazing
it's pretty
piece.
cool. Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun with it.
For what it is, it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Like some people say, oh my God, you guys say, you know, everything
Bazooka
is
still
amazing,
is a
everything
thing.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
good.
one of those things that, no, you show it to somebody and be like, whatever.
Like the 6.5s that we put in the car too. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, that's that. What type of free air subwoofer would you suggest? You know, believe it or not, Kicker just came out with a marine free air woofer that's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I really haven't paid much attention to free air stuff. So, the wife woofer.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that because my wife does have in her car the Bose subwoofers in her spare tire. She's been gone, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. But we're thinking about before we give it back, maybe putting it in there and just seeing what it sounds like.
What's the best performing mid-bass driver out there? Depends.
Okay, so if we're talking the best, that means price is no object. So
Yeah.
the new Focal M's, Utopia M's are pretty freaking amazing mid bass. You know, they're $3,000. So I mean that's pretty cool. If we're talking, we want to be reasonably price point. The Kenwood XR 7-inch is a pretty amazing mid bass. You got to buy it with a tweeter, unfortunately, but that's that's pretty.
Artisan make nice
mid bass
too. So
there we go.
It just depends.
Thoughts? We've never had anything to do with Rockville. Never.
No.
You guys must really like them though, because there's always someone to ask about them. We haven't had any luck with them. The Zero 800 is a mid bass monster. Yeah, okay.
There you
cool.
go.
All right.
Cool.
What do we got here? Acoustic Elegance specializes in free air.
Yes,
So there you go. Check it out.
There you
Acoustic
go.
Elegance for your free air needs. Hold on. What does it say? Oh, crap. All right. Well, it disappeared.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, all right. We won't.
What's going on?
I personally like P3 subs over most Rockford T series subs.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the P3 woofer myself. I'm not gonna lie. I love that. It's got a big fat boomy bass sound to it that just like it's what I like.
For a regular sub, I like the T.
T what?
The T.
Oh, you mean the shallow mount?
No, I mean the shallow one, but the other one, the regular T. What was the T1?
Yeah, it was a T1.
Yeah.
T1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
DMA10 OPXE, the Alpine one.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
That's really the case. What are we doing? Because two totally different animals there.
Yes.
If we're just talking straight DSP, like we don't need to do any summing, we're going to be running RCA inputs. We only need 6 inputs because the PXE only has 6 inputs. The 810 has 8. So if we're not doing any summing or anything like that, straight DSP, the nice thing about the PXE is it has parametric and graphic EQ options for the 31 bands, which I prefer.
Yeah.
But if I have to do anything else, the 810 is probably a little bit easier to use. So, I mean, I have the PXE in my car. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the app. I like the presets switching capability. I like the little DRC it gives you. It's quirky as hell, just like pretty much every DSP is. So, like, it does some fun stuff where it's kind of like every time I turn off my car, it goes.
GM tail. Has a D 4.800 for the doors and the Rockford P500.
Yeah.
0.1.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we did the we mix and match every now and then. Every now and then when I can let my brain wrap my.
Oh
head
yeah,
around
we did Morel, and the Chevy Silverado. Oh, that was a GMC. That was full Morel. We installed the 5-channel amps.
We do Morel all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Morel in my car. If you go back to 4 weeks ago, Morel was actually the sponsor of the show.
We gotta bring them back.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
because that's some neat stuff. Actually, there's a box of Morel right here.
Yeah. Amplifiers and everything.
That's the Virtus Nano. That's that
Belgium.
thin thing.
What's going on?
Belgium is here again. If I set an amp with a DD1, does the bass knob allow the output to exceed the gain of the amplifier? Thanks. Yes, it does. All right, so when you're setting, so you're never gonna set for 0 dB, meaning when you got all your speakers disconnected. We're just gonna assume you guys know you're supposed to disconnect all your speakers when you're setting these things up, because you don't want to run a 0 dB 40 hertz test track through your system, or 1000 hertz for that matter. It's a good way to blow all your speakers. And crossovers, you can set those suckers right on fire.
All right, guys,
so
thank you.
You're never gonna play 40 hertz 0 dB. But that's where that's where you're going to set your radio distortion, and then you're going to switch to -5 or -10. That's so you can have some headroom there, or some room to move, so you can work your volume control. Because a volume control, depending on the amplifier, could be boost, could be 18 dBs of boost, could be 6 dBs, could be 12 dBs of boost. So by having your volume sub control set at 0 and then setting it for -10. Okay, now you have room to move. That's not saying that you can run it all balls to the wall all day long. Different things will lie. You'll have to turn it up, have to turn it down. That's where your ears are going to come into play. Yep. There's no 100% guaranteed tool to set anything, because it constantly changes. It's music. It's fluid. It's constantly moving. So yes, you can use it to get it to where it's like, I know what I've done, and then from there you can turn it up, you can turn it down. Because I mean, the best example of that is when we're doing a radio dyno, which we haven't done. We're going to get back into those again. Mm-hmm. On a Kenwood radio, the radio, you can run it all the way up, volume all the way up, and once you get to +4 on the subsection or the subwoofer volume control, it starts to distort. So anything past that is going to distort, but you can get to 3 without it. Now, if you turn the volume down 3, then you can go all the way up to 6. That's not to say that every track is going to be recorded at the same volume. So in some tracks you could be playing, you can have it at +6 and it'll sound fine. Some tracks you won't. Some tracks you could play it and it has such a huge bass track in it, +3 would be too much. You need to turn it down to 0. So it's constantly a moving thing. Is the Morel 4-channel amp enough power to push the Morel Virtus 602s? Bridged? Yeah. Like if you're just going to run it like 2-channel mode? Yeah. We do the 5-channel amp 3-channel mode all the time, where we take the 5-channel and we'll run it on a set of 2-way or 3-way up front, and then use the sub out to go to just like a 10 or 12.
Yes, we installed, this is the second P500 that we installed this week. We installed 2 this week. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're good.
Anyone run balanced signal setup anymore like old Zappos and Phoenix Gold products? Just because RCAs are easier. Exactly. It's like, dude, we can't get people to fiber optic on thing. You want to talk about balance and unbalanced and all that other stuff? Actually, Phoenix Gold likes to do that on theirs to differentiate and stay in high level or low level. They say balanced and unbalanced. It's just annoying.
When you gonna put your system?
As soon as we get time. Recording level of songs are not all the same. Yeah, they're not. Exactly. Trust me, I know that, because when I have to add the audio tracks to all the videos that we do, certain artists record their tracks lower than others, so I try to find a bass line, and then I have to keep moving that bass line up and down. Hi, can a capacitor help? Yes, an AC ripple. In certain cases, yes, it can.
No, we don't install 7-inch Excellence on the Expedition. We just add the B500.
Oh, I'd love to know if they fit. If it's a 6x9, yes, they will. So I don't remember. We never looked up to see what size speakers fit in that car, but I thought it was a 6x9. If it's a 6x9, yes, they'll fit fit in there perfect. Because they actually, the 7-inch comes with a bracket to mount into a 6x9 location. So as long as it'll take a 6x9, actually as long as it'll take a 6.5, it'll take that 7-inch, because they also give you a spacer to go from a 6.5 to the 7. You're never gonna have time. I gotta make time because they sent me the stuff, so we gotta make time.
We have to.
I upgrade my tweeters and now they whine. Why? So there could be a couple different things there. If you just upgraded your tweeters and now they whine, the chances are good the tweeter has a higher frequency response than the tweeters you had previously. The whine was always there, but now you hear it because the tweeters are actually capable of playing those frequencies. So for example, if you went from like a cheap plastic tweeter or a cheap silk or material tweeter to, let's say, a metal tweeter, totally possible to get noise that you didn't hear before, because those metal tweeters are going to be better to play, brighter, as he said, in those frequency range than those other two types of tweeters. So yeah.
Two type of see that install.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Yeah.
Just do the install live on Saturday.
Cool, man.
Because that's only an hour. We'd just
no,
to the point where
like
we got the door
2
panel
days
off, and I was like, all right, it's been an hour.
Bye.
See you guys. We're going home.
No.
You know.
No.
Love you guys. We love you too. Peace out, bro. All right. It's been fun.
Yes.
You guys know about the JBL Bass Hub. Believe it or not, if you want to know more about it, check it out. It's real. This thing actually works. It's totally crazy.
Yep.
I know. It's nuts. Best shallow mount subwoofer. Still gonna say the Comp RTs. The Kicker Comp RT is still my favorite shallow mount woofer.
Yes.
So until something else better comes along at that price point,
Correct.
then I'm gonna stick with that. Like he likes the T1 shallow, which is like double the money. The T1 shallows in the boxes that we put them in, pretty freaking amazing. We do those in a lot of Fox boxes. So those are awesome. Have you guys listened to Hybrid Audio?
Lagaria.
What set does he have?
I think he has the Lagaria.
Is that the Lagarias?
I believe. I am not gonna say yes, but
I think we have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know we have a guy that has the Hybrid Audio stuff in his car. He's running all Morel amps and PDX amplifiers. He's got a DM810 in there that we set up. And he loves them. And they sound good. Awesome. Anyways, let's get this stuff out of the way so we guys can have a fun.
Jason, he has the Morel. What do you have? 3-4 channels?
3-4 channels and a monoblock.
3-4 channels and a monoblock. Crazy, right? Crazy. We have to bring all the equipment back so you guys can see it again.
If you want to get a shirt, Teespring.store/store/5-star car stare is a place where all the shirts are.
Saludos, fin de semana.
Podcast. We do a podcast twice a month. What amps are you putting in? All Morel, man. It's all going to be Morel. Because they sent them to me and I can't say no. So there you go, iTunes. If you want to become a Patreon member to support the show, thank you so much for all you Patreons out there. You guys are the best. So there you go. DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can find all the cool tools and whatnot. Also, if you guys are car stereo installers or work at a car stereo shop, this is just for you guys, think about joining on Facebook, Install Syndicate. That's the Installer Syndicate on Facebook. You do have to work at a car stereo shop, and they do ask you. If you are wanting to become a member, they ask you 3 questions. Those 3 questions are basically around where you work. Fill those out so you can become a member, okay? We're all there on the syndicate. The nice thing about it, it's a place where installers like us can go and ask questions of other installers. So similar to the questions you guys ask us, we have a place where we can go and ask other guys, or those guys can ask us, hey, we're not associated with it. It's just a good place to go if you're an installer. There is another place you can go if you're a consumer, which I forgot what it was, and I'll get back to you next week on that one. I'll tell you guys on Monday. I didn't do my homework. But yes, so that's the show. I'm on my way to Disney.
Cool. I'm on my way to home.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being a part of today's show. We'll figure out what we did wrong with the microphones, but thanks for playing along at the beginning. I guess the real question is, did the beginning of the show sound better than the end of the show?
Yeah,
If it did, let us know in the comments. After, type it in. Let us know. I'm going to go back and listen to it, see how it sounded. not saying we'd use the microphones all the time because they're obnoxious and they're kind of annoying. But hey, you never know. Yeah. Syndicate is a great group. Okay, I am an admin. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm an admin on the group, but and so is Ada. Well, it's his baby. But all right.
All right, guys. So see you guys next Saturday, or if you guys on Facebook, see you guys on Monday. 6:30 Eastern Standard. Yep.
Have a safe weekend. Don't do anything stupid. What do you think about? I haven't seen the 4500 yet, so we'll know soon enough when that comes out. But it's gonna be cool.
See you guys later.
You guys have a great weekend. Ubers, Lyfts, they're cheap. Don't do anything stupid, or if you are, pay someone else to take you home.
Yes.
Because we want to see you guys on Monday. Monday's fun. Monday's just the two of us sitting in our chairs, answering questions. Maybe we'll try the microphones again if we can figure that one out.
We'll see. We gotta try. Yeah.
You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Remember, The Boring Life of Dean and Haley is a place where you can see what I do on Sundays.
On Sunday, yes. Subscribe.
Yeah, check that out. Check it out. So Haley loves, yeah.
Bye,
okay.
Johnny Taylor. Thank you. Gracias.
Bye.
Bye.